Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, today we are going to create with the Spellbinders Large Die of the Month Club kit for May 2024. It's called Grand Tropical Flamingos. It just says summer, and I thought we'd make a fun tropical card today. We're going to start by doing some die cutting. We're going to be using Spellbinders Peach Sorbet cardstock. There's two different flamingos. One has a longer neck, the other one has a little bit more of a traditional curved neck. We're going to use the longer necked flamingo for this card. Okay, we'll put that on our cardstock. We have some facial features. We have the beak. We're going to use with black cardstock. And then this portion goes to the beak also, but we need to die cut this out with some white cardstock. We have our flamingo legs. You have a set here, and then you have one leg, oops, that is kicked up. And we're going to bring in some dark gray cardstock. This is Spellbinders Lunar Gray. And I want a straight leg, and then I also want a kicking leg. So we're going to use both of those dies. I'm going to create some flowers on my card today. So I'm going to die cut out 3 white flowers, and then I'm going to do a little ink blending on the peach sorbet, and we'll die cut out 3 with this. Actually, we could do that right now. Let's scoot this over. It doesn't take much. I'm just going to bring in my orange blending brush and add a little color. Maybe we need to use some yellow cardstock. Instead of using the Barely Peach, I thought we'd bring in some chamomile. So this is a light yellow. This way we have a gradient that will stand out. Just adding some orange ink. I'm using my Pink Fresh Studio Clementine ink to add a little bit of color here. We're going to bring this back for our background too. Okay, so I'll die cut out some white flowers, and then we'll die cut out, making sure I get some of that yellow and the orange with this cardstock. And then we need some leaves. I love this leaf flourish. For this I'm creating 2 with my Peridot cardstock. And then we have this piece. This is actually for the legs that connect you probably won't need it for this one, but this connects your legs to the bird with a little bit of color. So we're going to die cut this out with a different color. I'm going to use my Dahlia cardstock. It's like a peachy corally color. So we have a whole bunch of different colors that I'm hoping will go together beautifully. And you know, while I'm die cutting out my black cardstock, I want a window in my card today. So I'm going to bring in my circle postage dies. I love the dotted detail on here. It doesn't die cut, it just dots. I'll die cut out a circle with this. Okay, that's the the second size up from the smallest. I'm going to run everything through my die cut machine, and I will be right back. Let's put these to the side. I'll bring in my grit mat. First we're going to add a little bit of color. I'm going to be using my passion fruit to do a little bit of coloring. Let's punch out this flamingo's eye on the body of the flamingo. And I think I want to add a piece of cardstock in here. And using my passion fruit ink, let's add a little color here. And we're going to go over the face too. Yeah, I think that looks really pretty. Now watch what happens when you remove this. It kind of really stands out. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of color underneath here. chopped it off right here, but I've did that before, but I don't think you can notice because we're going to cover actually the bottom part with some flowers. So that's all good to go. And then I'm going to also take my leaves and we're going to bring in a little color to these too. I'm going to bring in my tin. We're going to use turquoise ink and just highlight a few of the leaves. And those are good. Since we have the grip mat out and our inks out, might as well do our background while we're at it. I have an A2 panel of Spellbinders Sun-Kissed cardstock. I'm going to trim this down. We're going to take a 1/2 inch off the bottom and then a 1/2 inch off of one side. So it measures 3 3/4 inches by 5. Using my blending brush, we're going to fade from the top about to this section here. And that didn't work out too good. Let's add some ink here and kind of fade down. Kind of fading both of them together here, just so the fade's a little bit smoother. It's kind of choppy. Okay, and I think that looks wonderful. Maybe a little more here. We're going to add a little bit of white splatter using my Spellbinder Splatter White. And I don't know if you guys have used this before, but it works really great. And the little goes a long way. I think it's really popular because when I went to link this, that a lot of it was almost sold out everywhere. But if I can find a link for you guys, I will definitely add that below. We're just going to add some water to this and do a little splattering. Okay, so we have a little bit of something in the background. Now, I'm actually glad we did this early because this can dry. Okay, let's go ahead and build our flamingo. We have these two pieces. There's two different kind of beaks. I'm using the more narrow beak, and I'm just going to add a dot of glue here at the top. And then we're going to add this white piece. They layer together like a puzzle. Then I'm going to add another dot of glue here, and then I'm going to bring my flamingo to this piece. Yeah, I want this curved down a little bit more, and then I put a little piece of square black cardstock behind the eye. So that is the face of our bird. Okay. After we have this done, we're going to add one of our legs. Let's see. I want one that's kicking up. Make sure it's the right one. I think it's this one here. Is it this one? Oh, this one seems like it's supposed to go there. So we're going to use the leg that's facing the right. Okay, I'm going to layer these both together. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add a dot of glue, and then I'll take this piece, and we're going to put it behind this leg. I don't think I need to do the same with this one. Maybe. Let's see. I think if you were to use both of the standing legs, you could use both of these. I'm not going to use that one though. I'm only going to use one for my flamingo here. I'm going to take this piece, we're going to layer them both together. Kind of looks funny, but that's okay because flowers are going to be covering that anyway. So I'm going to add a glue to the top. We'll add our flamingo here. Now these are flower centers I'm not going to use. If you want to die cut this out and put it behind the eye, you could. So we're going to put all of these to the side, and we're going to work on our flowers next. And I'm going to create like a tutu of flowers on the bottom of the flamingo, but I'm going to use foam squares for this. I went ahead and put my foam squares at the very bottom, kind of a row. Again, we're going to make a tutu of flowers. And then I'm using black foam squares because I want to use them up. I have quite a bit. And then I'm going to add some flowers. We're going to kind of alternate with the colors. I'm going to fluff up. Now we kind of covered up our ink blended. You can kind of see a little bit of shading on that flamingo, but that's okay. That's one way to color in your flamingos. I'm going to fluff up these feathers here just for a little extra dimension. And then I'm going to fill in the flower centers of our floral with some Spellbinders Spectrum AB gems. I'm going to use the same die that I used for this, and I'm going to cut out a window. We can actually use this piece for another card, and I'm going to take this, I'm going to layer it where I want it on my card base. We're going to frame it in, okay, and then I'm going to take this piece and then we're going to add some tape. Let's add some glue. I have glue here. And then we're going to insert this here. I'm going to pop this up with foam tape, and we're going to adhere it to the front of the card base. So we have that window. Okay, we are going to take our flamingo, and I'm going to put it right in the center here. But I'm going to add my fronds, and we're going to place them here. I might add a little glue to connect them. Once we have this attached, I want to make sure that it's where I want it to go. And then I did a little flamingo surgery. This was the leg of my flamingo. I shortened it, so I pulled it up. You can see here. So we have a short-legged flamingo. This way because I wanted to lower it just below down here on my card. Now we're going to take our short-legged flamingo, and we're going to add those fronds behind it so they stick down. So now I know those fronds are exactly where I want to go. Okay, we're going to add some foam tape now. And since this is one level with foam tape, I'm going to add 2 levels of foam tape with my flamingo. So it's a little bit higher. We'll push that down really good, and it's nice and secure. But my fronds are loose. If you wanted to glue those down, you could, but I don't mind them floating there. Okay, we are going to bring in our clear stamp. For my greeting, I'm using the Spellbinders clear stamp of the Month Club kit. I have the stamp and die, so it has a coordinating die set. And I'm going to heat emboss Hello. So I'm going to treat some black cardstock with my anti-static powder tool. I'm going to bring in, I'm stamping with my Simon Says Stamp white pigment ink because my Versamark pad is really dry, and I went to go use my refill on it and that was empty too. So I'm going to go to the store and fill up my craft stash. Let's melt this. We're going to take the coordinating die and cut out our Hello. Okay, let's just pop this out. And then I'm going to add a small foam square behind here. That's nice that we had the black. And then we can add this. I'm going to add it to this opening here. We're just going to center it. Kind of like the way that looks. And that will finish off my card today with the Spellbinders Large Die of the Month Club Kit. It's called Grand Tropical Flamingos. And I hope you come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be using this set once more, and we're going to be using the Embossing Folder Club, and also we're going to be using the Stencil Club, along with the Clear Stamp Club. But thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.